Yeah,
Okay.
all right.
Here it is.
Let's see.
We're here with Zach Briggs. This is an ambush. This is an ambush video in here. It's not live though. Thank goodness. So in case anything,
That's
I can
all
also
right, man.
pause it. So pretty much, we have a lot of questions here. This is Castillo de San Marcos over here in St. Augustine. A beautiful place, a lot of history, and it was like. First, the coquina and the material they used to build this. How long it took
Isn't that
to build this
amazing?
thing?
It took them quite a while. So you kind of think of it like the Three Little Pigs. You know, they had one made out of wood, and that got attacked, so they knew they had to build something stronger. And interestingly enough, about this fort, it was never conquered. The coquina was just enough. Did they say that? So it absorbed the cannon fire. So a lot of times they would just take the cannonballs, and then at the end of the night, you know, they go and pry them out and turn them into horseshoes or whatever if they needed to.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They couldn't reuse them as cannonballs. They were too warped at that point from the shot, so they'd have to use them as something else. But metal was pretty precious back then, so they used everything.
And that's what I'm saying. And even to get them, and 3,000 pounds. How would they bring these cannons up
crazy?
and put them on top?
Well, they used a system of pulleys and levers and things like that to get them up here. And I don't know if you noticed at the bottom the archways in the ceiling. That's for the heavy cannon. Because normally cannon fall right through the bottom because these cannon weigh 2-3 tons each. You know, so they had to put the vaulted archways in every room to keep the cannon. Yeah, because the keystone makes it stronger. So arches are stronger. They learned that from the Romans.
I always thought that would actually be the weakest point. I thought a square would be a flat top would be better.
It's actually the arches that are better. Isn't that crazy?
Makes sense.
Also, if you want to come on over here,
uh-huh.
another cool thing about the rooms.
If you ask me the question in between here.
No,
interesting.
that's why I'm here, man. Is you see each window above each room there? That's their air conditioning back then. That, you know, heat rises and cool air sinks, so they have that circulate that breeze right through there. So if you guys go inside, you feel it's a little bit cooler. That's because of the window. It's not because we're pumping air conditioning in there. So that's just literally the thing that they had to keep.
And they always had the bars, or just something they put in recently?
The bars were, I believe, an addition after the Americans came here and started to use it as a jail. That was during the Civil War.
Oh, was this as a jail too?
Union troops were here.
The whole thing was used as a jail?
At one point it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this has been used for a lot of different things. It's been used as a garrison for troops during the British occupation, the Spanish occupation again, and then the American Civil War. There's a few Confederates here, and then they left, abandoned the thing, and the Union troops came in and took over. Not a shot was fired, and like, this is ours now. And they trained a couple of guns out here in case they had a Confederate attack, but they never did.
And came from the seaside, the Union troops?
Yeah, well, all of the troops did. I'll tell you something kind of cool if you want to look out there. So this island right here, this strip of land is called Anastasia Island. If you look to the right of it, there's a channel. You see folks like water skiing that way. That's actually the original entrance. So if you were going to come here and attack this fort, you'd come between those two islands right there and come in here.
And you come
those
around.
breaks right out there.
Yeah.
That's all man-made by the Corps of Engineers, Corps of Engineers. I can't remember that.
Interesting.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Actually, my friend Ed told me about that. So
they come around. So they come around, bring them there, and then it's like, so then you at least you have time to prepare. But it's like this fort here, we're just like, even for them to get to the point of being able to do this, and this was done how much in advance they knew something was going to happen, because for them to build it, have the time to put stuff together, it takes a while. Because
I mean, they've been attacked a few times before they built it. So, Ed, do you know how long construction was?
20 years.
Okay, so
20 years.
Where did they cut the stones from? I mean, it looks like really
the quarry.
From the seabed. Yeah.
From the seabed?
Yep, the limestone's got all the shells in there, so they just chipped it out. And they didn't know back at the time that they were building a fort out of the best stuff available.
Because I think it
It absorbs it. Yeah, exactly. They just used what was around, and it ended up being exactly what they needed.
I could imagine it looks terrible after an attack, but it absorbs it. Huh?
It absorbs it.
But isn't that amazing?
Isn't that nuts? Yeah.
And this is called coquina, right?
Coquina.
Because a lady told me she was in the church. She said that when you do take it out of the ground, it's soft and mushy, just the shells on the sediment.
That's right.
And when you harden it for like 7 to 10 days or something, and then it hardens it like solid. I mean,
similar to adobe, but made out of shells.
But they dug it up from the ground of the sea? Or?
Chiseled it right off the seabed. Yeah.
Wow.
And it was soft at this point in time, and then it hardened in the sun, or?
Yeah, they hardened it in the sun, and then they would put the plaster.
They put plaster, some kind of lime. They put some other stuff on top of it also. I'm like,
you can see remnants of the plaster around. Actually, that's what the white streaks around the windows. That's what this whole thing looked like at one point.
Oh wow!
So the whole thing was covered in a white plaster. And the inside of the rooms were plastered, and a lot of the Spanish decoration was in there too. So big bright colors, part of the Spanish flags and everything.
I just imagine how these people live here and stuff. And then it's like downstairs in some of the rooms, I saw like even like the toilet rooms, a lot of bullet holes on the walls. You think all this is just fighting in between?
A lot of graffiti. The prisoners were doing stuff.
Here's the question: if they weren't, sorry to interrupt. If they weren't conquered,
inside.
where were all the bullet holes from then on the inside?
Look at the
Bullet holes on the
Practicing?
inside
Or maybe
might have
just
been,
maybe
yeah,
residue?
practicing, but I don't think there was any sort of enemy fire
So no-
from
so
the
the-
inside. Yeah, everyone that ever was here was
All-
they got along with the others because
Yeah.
the British were in it at one time, the Spanish were in it at one time. So I don't think that was used in any daring stuff.
Yeah.
As far as I know, they're either not bullet holes that look like bullet
Yeah.
holes, maybe people just chipping stuff out,
Maybe.
or I think your theory is pretty good.
I'm just
Maybe someone's
curious.
doing some target practicing in the coquina.
Maybe
they know
because
it's
some have more,
stopping.
some have more than others. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have to get practice, right?
Because
Maybe.
you see graffiti and stuff down there for
Yeah.
the soldiers, so the walls
Oh,
with
wow.
coquina are just really easy to put a dent in there for that type of thing. So, the soldiers, the prisoners, just like anybody else, they get bored and they said, my name
Try
was
something.
here or whatever.
And then to be inside there for so long, like like you look at the temperatures and stuff. Like Florida, we just moved here recently. The temperature is fluctuates, but it's mostly hot. So even to do that for AC stuff, that's just a nice. That's a
Isn't
nice.
that great? And especially
Very
when you're in the courtyard,
interesting
it heats up like
thinking.
an oven. So you go into these rooms and you're like, oh wow, it's such a relief. So
And I would and just like say if you know this place much, like what has been the most drastic change so far since people have been? I mean, other than the benches and you see the little
I
touches.
see what you're saying.
Like what
Sure.
what has really
well,
changed
a lot
much
of these,
now?
in fact, I would say most of these cannon that are along this wall.
Yeah.
We've moved them over there so
Okay.
they wouldn't be like aiming at the town. Now the
Okay.
town, we'd have one or two in case
Yeah.
the town was laid siege to and they wanted
Okay,
to fire
okay,
down
so
at their
now-
enemies.
yeah.
But most of these cannon would be trained out this way.
No.
We have taken this wall down and put the benches up here to not obstruct the view, so you can see the ocean and you can
Makes
see
sense.
our firing demonstration.
Okay,
So the most improvements I think that the NPS has done is this area right here,
Not
and then
bad.
we've reinforced a lot of the crumbling walls there for humans. The pavement
Not
here
bad.
is
And-
constructed for us.
And
so.
those, you see those are next to the wall down the ground there?
Yeah.
Those, there's something have like it has like a pivot hole or something that kind of pivots on it.
That's
Where they
from
have
the
like
Civil War.
rotating guns. They have civil. Oh,
Yeah,
this,
that's Civil War stuff. So all this stuff down here by the water battery,
Yeah.
the pivots,
Uh-huh.
the cannon, they all would have been there for the Civil War. In fact, this little room, this building here,
Yeah.
you see that?
Yeah.
They call that the hot shot oven. So the Civil War Union soldiers would put their cannonballs inside there and heat them up till they're glowing hot.
Yeah.
And then they'd shoot them out there to get it 2 for 1. You'd burn the ship at the same time as you put holes through it. Isn't that crazy?
Because I'm like, wow.
They didn't use it nearly as much as
I'm
they
saying,
thought
yeah.
they would. Yeah, they
I
didn't
saw some
have.
other ones down there where they have like the different weapons. where,
Exactly.
Like, the chains together. The sword,
Yeah,
spear,
yeah,
the
same
spear.
exact thing.
I'm
Yes,
like,
they cut holes in them and
how
stuff.
did
Yeah.
But now how would you fire those now? Because that's a creative one. To have those with the stuff put together.
One of two
I can only
options.
imagine.
I mean, it'd be really hard to get both cannons to fire at the same time.
yeah.
So they'd usually stuff 2 balls in at the same time, and then it would kind of do a twist around.
Amazing.
type
Like,
of
like
thing
look
as
down
it
there, right?
shoots out.
Like I'm looking down there at the wall there, and
Yeah.
you see the holes in the side. So those are actually.
Some of them cannon holes, some of them
There's a
pigeon
woodpecker.
holes. Some of the pigeons
They-
have
you know,
made
with
a
time
home
they
in
would do
this
some
place.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I would venture that more pigeon than this thing's been around for 300 years, so who knows what they've done to it. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
So I would say, so what would you, if you say when people come here most time, what would be like your biggest? Because safety is the biggest here also.
Safety is a
people-
big concern. That's
because-
kind of why I'm up here on the walls. My first job is to make sure
Nobody's-
no one's ready to fall. And then
I
my
see
second
people on the
job is
cannon
give history
sometimes.
tidbits.
No, I
Yeah.
appreciate, yeah.
Cannons are they going to be firing?
Yes, they are. They're going to be firing in about 15 minutes. Oh, he's over to here.
Okay, so
One of those cannons right over there.
okay.
Thank you. So they're gonna fire it into the Gulf? What if they hit a boat?
Well, hopefully we don't hit a boat because we don't have any actual cannonballs in there. So
They're just gonna
if it
fire.
does
Oh no,
hit
no,
a boat,
sit
that'd
down,
be
sit down.
bad.
Not to go. Oh, sorry, not to fall, not to
So you
fall.
don't
Yeah.
have cannonballs?
Oh, you're welcome.
We
Yeah.
don't have actual cannonballs in there because we don't actually want to hit those boats because they're owned by rich people and they'll get mad at us.
Yeah. Mr. Biggs, thank you so much for the
You're
information. Thank you.
welcome,
I'm gonna
man.
check
It's
around
great to
again.
meet
Okay,
you.
you too, you too.
Have a good
No. Go to this. What is this? It's all about it. Kids gotta know this history. Thank you. God bless. Thank you. You see, hey, you know, if you ask, we'll get an answer. That's good. We needed some information to see how this thing works. And God bless. Very good information. And so let's see. We want to see the cannons of fire off. Let's see. We may not be around here to see it. We may catch another video because 15 minutes is a long time. But I'm gonna use the restroom. Maybe come eat some food and stuff in the meantime, and we'll be back. Okay. This is good information to know. God bless. Thank you. And thanks for sticking around to watch the video. Oh, I think they're getting ready here. See something? I see them getting out there in uniform. So maybe they're getting ready. That's talking about that. Were there any well, we didn't ask, were there any female soldiers here? You don't gotta ask it. Back then I think it's only the male soldiers, right? And their wives and people. So was it the people, maybe the wives in the town and the people are here? You know, because, you know. So I guess everyone's getting ready for the showing reenactment. So let me get myself ready also. So let's get things ready. Get this video here. All right. Let's see. Okay. And again, safe practices, safe practice, safe practice, safe practice. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Steps over there and I'm over here. Well, we're gonna walk around again. Let's get back to the steps. I'm in the middle, right? Let's go back. Okay. Talk to you later.